I opened at the same time as 2 other Southern California owners. So we together were kind of like, what is the mosquito season? Like, we don't know, mosquitoes were new here. And so we together kind of had the opportunity to like, hey, what do we think we should price things at? What's our demand for like a more natural product? And there's not been anybody that I didn't feel like I couldn't call. And I remember my first convention that we went to was like late in the year because it had been pushed for COVID. And I sat at a table with Tom and Mary Ellen Heineman, and they were extremely successful and like could not have been nicer. I just totally appreciated like them plugging into me, them continuing to like touch base throughout the year and just want to say hi and see how you're doing. And so to kind of have other input offered from like people like maybe you could rent a garage from someone. Like there's just so many resources out there that you wouldn't even have the slightest idea where to go if people weren't so willing to be like, hey, this worked for us, or think outside the box and what could you do here? So I think that's been really neat to go and meet people. It has always felt a lot more relational than just transactional. Dave Macchia, who's like the godfather, was on the phone with me, and I always felt like he was like the top guy was so accessible. He was like, hey, I had seasons like that. And I think there was a uniting feeling in knowing like when I walked through something really hard, probably almost every other person has walked through this hard season. And I think there was a really big community and like, hey, we can give you the support that we need. What resources can we help you with? And then just the feeling of like, you're not alone. And it's not as extreme as you think it is sometimes if you can just get through it.
What you run into is that you're going to have moments, and it doesn't matter what business you start, right? Or what business you're in, you're going to have some dark moments. And the idea of being able to call, 2 or 3 other people that have already kind of been down the road that you've been down or are on the same road as you're on and be able to get that additional input makes it so that those decisions that you make, you feel like you're making better decisions, you feel more confident in what you're doing. That confidence, I think, is one of the critical components with whatever business you're starting or building. It's really difficult to be in a situation where you're going to lead any team if you don't have confidence of what you're doing. You need to have that ability to be able to check in with folks, get their thoughts so that you're able to then feel like the decision you're making is the best decision for the company, for the organization, for the team. When I looked at all the other franchises, I don't think I found another franchise that had nearly the level of reviews throughout all of its different franchise territories. To get that kind of response from customers throughout all parts of the country, they've got to be consistently delivering on something at the corporate level, because you cannot put 100 to 130 folks out there starting up businesses to have that kind of success in that customer feedback without them providing the right infrastructure for folks to be able to deliver on that value proposition. All those things tie into what you see as far as the customer experience that our franchises have throughout the country.